So, the first time I saw it, I really didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And when I've tried to rewatch it, I've disliked it even more. Despite its weird popularity, Guardians 2 is the worst film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There are too many characters jammed in there, the emotional moments are weak, and the jokes do not land.
I have sensitive nipples.
My nipples hurt. Oh, goodness me.
He's just a shitty joke teller.
But the part that really rankled me, that really fell out of place, was the way director James Gunn decided to treat Yondu. In a film crowded with far too many characters, Yondu is the least important one there, but for some reason Gunn made him the central core of the movie, and someone possessing godlike powers. And this lavish attention is despite the fact that he was very clearly a villain in the first one.
Steal my money!
Stop it! Leave him alone!
When I picked you up as a kid, these boys wanted to eat you. I saved your life. Oh, will you shut up about that? You abducted me, man. You stole me from my home and from my family. You're soft! In here! Here, right here! Sentiment! Eating away your brain like maggots! That's it.
No!
Sorry, boy, but as captain's got to teach his men what happens to those what crossing.
For some reason, in Volume 2, we're supposed to accept that he was this loving father figure all along and deserving of a hero's funeral. None of this made any sense at all until...
He had some really questionable tweets that were jokes. They're just, he wrote some jokey joke things, but it's like about pedophilia, like a lot of them.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Like a lot of
I did
them.
see that.
He's just a shitty joke teller.
But when this news came out, Yondu's role in the film suddenly made sense. Not from a story standpoint, because the story's a mess, but from the perspective of the author surrogate. Gunn personified his dark obsession with children through Yondu. Again, in the first film, Yondu kidnaps and abuses Peter throughout his whole childhood. Then in the second film, the first time we see Yondu, who is at a robot brothel, one of his Ravager peers chews him out for having violated the only item in their code of ethics: no trafficking in children.
You betrayed the code. Ravagers don't deal in kids.
You could say that Yondu broke the law.
You betrayed the law.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. And despite the fact that Yondu kidnapped Peter, Peter somehow comes around to treating him like the best dad he could have ever had.
I had a pretty cool dad.
Is that what you've been filling your head with, boy? Sentiment!
This has got to be the ultimate fantasy for an abuser, that the victim comes around and eventually praises them for their warped, awful relationship. I needed this. This was good for me that you did this. It's extremely messed up. And by giving Yondu a hero's funeral where his peers exonerate him for, again, having trafficked in children, it's Gunn's way of having his peers forgive him for this extremely wrong, creepy obsession of his. Within the story itself, it makes no sense for Yondu to be honored like this. Even the Red Letter Media guys made fun of it.
Why wouldn't the whole galaxy want to attend the funeral of an obscure, elderly space pirate that nobody's heard of?
You dig a little deeper into Gunn's body of work and find some even more disturbing stuff. Like that scene in Super where Juno, who I think is supposed to be a minor in this film, somehow manages to rape Dwight, despite the fact that Rainn Wilson is about 5 times bigger than Ellen Page. Oh, or there's this series that Gunn did called PG Porn, which included not just 1, but 2 episodes sexualizing the kids from the Peanuts gang in the cleverly titled Peanuts.
He's just a shitty joke teller.
Oh, and now there are those very weird pictures of him at a pedo-themed party. So the question is not, is Disney going to back down and let him direct some more movies for them, but how did he ever land a gig with them to begin with?
Hooked on a feeling.